It's day 30. We did it, everyone. Pat yourself on the back. We've done it. A little bit later than I thought, but that was my first attempt. Yeah. So today we're drawing a skull, and it's going to be better than that. I tried to draw it, and honestly, the first thing I did is just went straight into my old habits and just tried to sketch it without any technique. So let's do it properly. Where we're going to draw a circle, the base of our skull, and we're going to be adding shapes on top of it. So we're kind of adding this goggle structure first, because if you feel your face, the eye sockets are kind of in like their own little goggly nest. And we're just going to define that a bit and treat it like a 3D structure, like it's popping out. We're sculpting shapes like we usually do. We're modeling them, we're making guidelines. And this is where we can actually do the cheekbones. Again, this is a flat plane at the moment, raised from the sphere. And the shape of the back of the skull is, I'm going to be adjusting it a lot in the future. But now we can actually draw and kind of sculpt out these individual eye holes. This is not the final product by any means, but because the one on the right hand side, the left eye socket, is kind of wrapping around the edge of the sphere, it's going to be shorter and at an angle, so it's not at the same size as the one on the left here. I hope that makes sense, but you've got to think of it like it's wrapping around the sphere. And yeah, if we add like that additional line, it kind of gives that sense of depth. I'm going to be erasing a lot and going over a lot for this because it's probably the most difficult thing we've done so far, even worse than drawing hands. So let's just zoom in a little bit and draw the nose of the skull. So again, it's not flat. We're drawing a triangular cylinder that's coming out of the front of the sphere, like so. So it's not flat. We're doing parallel lines to show it's 3D. And then we're just going to shade it. And I think that's looking pretty good so far. We can then start to do the top set of teeth. And to do that, we're going to add a bit more depth on the left side because it's kind of wrapping around. And then we're drawing kind of like a half of a very short cylinder. And I've clearly gone too big, so I'm just going to shrink everything. And I've actually put the title on the same layer, so I guess that's coming with us. And we're just going to refine the shape of the back of the skull a bit more. And back to drawing. So the bottom set of teeth and the jaw. And we're going to do quite a strong jaw. And immediately, this skull is looking pretty damn proud of himself. And while I refine some more, I was about to say jaw muscles, jaw bone, I just want to say thank you everyone who's been watching so far. It was a tough journey, but I think we've all come a long way. And just for a little bit, the videos are going to be a bit less frequent, but hopefully a lot higher quality. So we've drawn the entire jaw now. The teeth don't connect all the way to the back of the jaw, but we're going to redefine those cheekbones. Again, on the left-hand side of the skull, so our right. We're wrapping around again, so we've just got to give the feeling of an angular kind of tapering off, if you know what I mean. And going to extend the teeth just a little bit, correct that, and yeah, we're getting somewhere. But I'm thinking for the next couple of videos, I'm going to be doing short little pieces, maybe a guide on how to use Krita, the drawing app that I use. And tell me what you think I should do. There's my fat hand drawing on the side of the page again. But what I've just done is I've given a bit of shading to the under eye area to make it look like it's going inwards a bit. I've defined the eye sockets a bit more, and I'm actually going to be drawing some eyes to give the skull a bit more personality. And just like our very first lesson, I'm going to be treating them like spheres, so I'm going to just do a little curved line to give them a bit more depth. So now I can define the shape of the skull a bit more to make sure I'm happy with it. And honestly, I'm getting there. Skulls aren't perfectly circular, so there's going to be some sharper edges. And now we're actually going to start producing individual teeth. So you can start with just lines directly down. As they go to the edge of the set of teeth, the line's going to become thinner and thinner because they're kind of wrapping around. So much like a perspective drawing, the spacing is going to get smaller and smaller. And we can kind of do these curved arches at the bottom of our teeth, like we would see if we look at our smile. And when we go over this entire image again, after we've lowered the contrast, the opacity even, we can really define each one of those teeth. Add a bit of darkness, because that really makes the teeth pop, I think. Especially on either side, because it really shows depth. And yeah, we're just kind of tidying things up. Sharper jaw. And add some pupils. Now that looks like a happy chap. We're adding darker lines everywhere. Tiny bit more shading. Kind of looks like he's blushing. But we're basically there. All we need to do now is go over the entire thing again. So I'm going to add another layer, decrease the opacity of the original image by about 50%. And now we can really improve our line up. And I've never really used as much time on a single piece of drawing to go over the entire thing again and make it really crisp and clean. But who's to say I'm not going to do that in the following days? But yeah, there we have it. It's going to be nice and tidy. Might add a little bit of extra shading afterwards, but essentially there's not that much more left to it. So I know not a lot of you make it to the end of the videos, but if you do, yeah, please let me know what you want me to draw in the future, different techniques. I think the main ones I'm going to do is how to use this software, the very basics of color theory, shading, drawing real life objects. I'll take pictures for reference and we can draw next to it. And I'd also like to touch on very, very basic animation. I think that might be quite fun. So I might do a couple videos of each one of those, and then I might split it up into maybe Mondays is animation, Wednesdays is technique and theory, and Fridays is maybe a free drawing session where I either draw your requests or I just pick something that's interesting and just slowly try and improve the quality of my work bit by bit. Let me know what you think about that. I'm open to change, and as one of the comments I recently got, to draw a meal, a piece of food, and then cook it, and I can feel myself cooking it as well, because I quite enjoy that, and I think that's quite nice. Fun idea, because we're hitting multiple skills. It's going to be a bit longer, but I think it'd be quite fun. And yeah, when I've redrawn this, I've really tried to angle the teeth as much as I can when it's around the side. And I think it gives a lot better effect, but also makes it smile a lot creepier. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Quite the cheeky chap. And I hope you can have a bit of fun with this one. Have a bit of freedom. I definitely suggest looking for a reference image beforehand. It'll make it a lot easier. Don't think of it as copying. Think of it as inspiration. This is not something that you can typically draw from memory the first time, even if you're feeling your face the entire time. But there you have it. Thank you for joining me this entire series. I hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to go back and rewatch things if you've had trouble with any of them, and I'm happy to go into more depth, whichever you've had more difficulty with. So thank you everyone for watching the entire challenge, and I will see you all in the next video.